Hey, what's up, Patriots? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hit subscribe, turn on notifications because we're not sugarcoating anything today. January 26, 2026. President Trump's second term is delivering big league, and the fake news media hates it. We're talking a massive winter storm testing American grit, ICE finally doing its job despite Democrat obstruction, Maduro's takedown making leftists look ridiculous, and some epic wins in sports and the economy. You ready to hear the real story? Let's roll. America first, always. First up, this historic winter storm is slamming the country. And folks, it's a wake-up call.
But we begin with a massive winter storm pummeling the country. Nearly 200 million people are caught in the middle of it. Brutal cold, ice, and snow. 23 states from the south to the northeast are under a state of emergency. At least 3 deaths are blamed on the cold. More than 1 million people are in the dark tonight, and the snow still falling.
Over 730,000 homes without power, thousands of flights grounded, states declaring emergencies left and right, from the northeast getting buried to ice storms down south. At least a dozen lives lost, brutal cold moving in. Some on the left still push climate crisis, but come on, whatever happened to global warming? This is Mother Nature reminding us to be prepared, stock up, and support our communities. If you're in the path, stay safe, hunker down, and pray for first responders. Drop in the comments, has this storm hit your area hard? We're tougher than the weather. America always bounces back.
And New York, all declaring states of emergency.
An Arctic siege has taken over our state and many other states across the nation.
This storm, the first big test for New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, who announced today he's shutting down public schools Monday, but classes will move online.
This may disappoint some students, so if you do see me, feel free to throw a snowball at me.
Boston bracing for 20 inches of snow.
Now the big one everyone's talking about. Trump's immigration crackdown is saving lives, and the results speak for themselves. President Trump is urging DHS and ICE to publicize every arrest because transparency wins hearts and minds. It's protecting innocent Americans from crime and chaos.
Murderers, they're drug lords, drug dealers. They're the mentally insane.
President Trump holding up pictures of illegal immigrants arrested by ICE in Minnesota, doubling down on his immigration crackdown, calling the death of Renee Good a tragedy, and admitting ICE can make mistakes.
They deal with rough people. They're going to make a mistake. Sometimes it can happen. We feel terribly. So help me God.
On the anniversary of his inauguration, the president is touting dozens of wins over the past year, blaming his own people for not messaging them well.
Vice President Vance went straight to Minneapolis to back our agents, telling local Dems to stop fighting ICE and start cooperating.
I'll take some questions, but I want to make just one final observation here. When I was actually walking out here, somebody sent me a photo of a CNN headline about what happened in Minneapolis. And this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well, that's one way to put it, and that is the way that many people in the corporate media have put this attack over the last 24 hours. And I say attack very, very intentionally, because this was an attack on federal law enforcement. This was an attack on law and order. This was an attack on the American people. The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do what the American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws. The President stands with ICE. I stand with ICE. We stand with all of our law enforcement officers. And part of that is recognizing that you people in the media, not everybody in this room, but many people in this room have been lying about this attack.
That recent shooting? DHS and Secretary Kristi Noem laid it out clear. The suspect was armed, it was self-defense, end of story. But radical leftists and Governor Walz are turning it into protests, business strikes, even threatening to block ICE funding amid a national emergency. That's pure obstruction. Democrats creating chaos while Trump cleans up the border mess they ignored for years. You guys, this is why we voted red. Secure borders, law and order. The crackdown is working. Fewer innocents hurt, more criminals off the streets. What do you think? Should Congress fund ICE fully or cave to the radicals? And internationally, huge. Trump's team arrested Nicolas Maduro in Caracas. Game changer. Fox News is calling it great news for every American, leaving Democrats who coddled socialists looking absolutely foolish. No more Venezuelan gangs flooding our streets unchecked. Trump's not backing down on tariffs either, pushing Canada hard on Arctic defense, stalling bad deals with the EU and India until they respect us. This is America First foreign policy in action. Strong, no apologies. Meanwhile, gold just smashed $5,000 an ounce. Smart money knows uncertainty means strength in hard assets. Economy booming under Trump. Quick global shoutouts. Philippines ferry tragedy is heartbreaking.
According to the Philippine Coast Guard, at least 15 people have died in a ferry boat accident in the southern Philippines, with 316 people rescued so far. The accident occurred when the passenger vessel MV Trisha Kirsten 3 was traveling to Jolo in Sulu province after departing from Zamboanga. The Coast Guard said the vessel was operating within its authorized capacity and had 332 passengers and 27 crew on board. Search and rescue operations are continuing in relatively calm waters, with 28 people still missing. Coast Guard officials said an investigation is underway to determine the cause of the accident, and military aircraft and vessels have been deployed to assist.
Prayers to those families. But closer to home, focus on our wins. No time for sham elections in Myanmar or floods in Mozambique when we've got domestic priorities. Wrapping with the big picture, Trump's approval climbing, conservatives finally reclaiming culture after years of liberal dominance, from women's sports protections to calling out media bias. Megyn Kelly shutting down left-wing hecklers? Chef's kiss. This administration is delivering. Cabinet picks like Kristi Noem fighting the good fight. Policies that put Americans first. There you have it, folks. The straight-up, no-spin roundup from the real side of the story. If this got your blood pumping and reminded you why we stay informed every single day, drop a like, hit subscribe for more no-holds-barred updates, and share it with your friends who need to hear the truth. What's standing out as the biggest victory for America in 2026 so far? Drop it in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going and this community unbreakable. Stay sharp, stay strong, and I'll catch you in the next one. God bless America.